keep Sal in check. You want to go first?
That's a full-time job.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go first?
Sure. Our job is to represent people to the best of our ability and as accurate as we possibly can. I think we all have seen it. I don't know, I know I have, and I'm sure Peter has as well on both sides of the aisle, that we have people that go up to Salem or go to the federal government and they worry about keeping their job instead of doing it at times, and that's too bad. I think we're very, very fortunate down here in Southern Oregon because we have people that go up and just do their job. And, you know, if people want to continue to give us a ticket on the bus, they will do so as long as we represent them in a manner of which they are accustomed to or want. Peter's never had a real close race. I've really never had a real close race except one time, and that was with a great guy named Mike Moran. But we still won by 4 or 5 points that time. But the rest of them haven't even been close. And so obviously we must be doing something right to represent our people, even though we have different points of view, but we represent the district well. Peter represents his district well, and I think I represent mine very well because we seem to always have the ability to go back and continue on the basis. And it isn't a matter that we're the incumbent, it's a matter of what kind of a job, because every 2 years we get a report card. And whether you get an A on that report card or an F, that determines what you do. But I always look at it like this, you know, go up and do the best I can, try to make the best decisions I can with the information I have. And once I do that, then you have to go along with what you've done. One way or the other, you have to be responsible for your votes. And I don't think there's anyone in Southern Oregon that doesn't feel that way, that they are not responsible for their votes. So.
Yeah, I would say there's 2 aspects of the work, and Sal's hit on it. I mean, you're trying to represent the people who elected you on kind of 2 different levels. One is interacting with agencies, and that's something we do just constantly. You know, we'll get a phone call or get an email from someone who says, you know, I've been working with this casework for Department of Human Services. I feel like they've basically not listened to me, and I think, you know, my grandchild's being hurt in the process. We get stuff like that all the time. So we're the people that call up the agency and say, what's going on? You know, one of my constituents, one of my people is telling me there's a problem here and we've got to get it addressed, we've got to get it on the table, we've got to figure out how to resolve it. And we do that from everything from human services into lots of stuff with the Department of Motor Vehicles. And do it for businesses will call up and they'll say, you know, I'm having a problem on this one land use issue, I can't get a decision done, and we're the ones who have to push and say, you know, we need that decision done so these guys can continue on with their business plans or change their business plan. So that's a lot of the work. We're only in session about 5.5 months out of every odd numbered year and about 5 weeks of every even numbered year. So the rest of the time, we're doing constituent work mostly, or we're doing research on different bills, or trying to fix the process, like Sal's talking about with the rules process. We're working on the budget, you know, trying to work with agencies to clarify what their budget is. If a problem comes up, trying to resolve that problem on that side. So a lot of time is spent actually in our home districts. When we're in Salem, when we're in session, we're not only doing that work continuously, trying to still represent constituents, but we're struggling with issues. And you got some of the issues that are listed here this evening we'll talk about. But you know, we'll struggle for everything from civil rights issues to issues about sentencing for different offenses, legal offenses. That's our job to do, is to wrestle with this sort of things. Education policy, you know, how do you try not to do too much policy and education, you know, from Salem and have it be dictated down to schools on a local level? How you try to hold that in a good way. So that would be the 2 things we do: represent constituents on an individual basis, but also on a kind of collective basis with the issues that we wrestle with every single session. Do we build a bridge across the Columbia River or not? You know, that was a huge issue that was in the last session. How do we handle class action lawsuits in the state of Oregon? So those are the type of things that we wrestle with on a regular basis.